So this is a project for the day. I'm going to replace the mixing elbow where the water comes in, mixes with the exhaust, and then cools everything down and the exhaust spits out.
Hi, I'm Doug, and this is my first mate Peggy. Come join us as we sail around the Penobscot Bay in coastal Maine.
So I suspect this might be an issue because we have a lot of kind of a smoky exhaust, so I'm hoping that this is a simple fix.
You may want to replace or at least check the mixing elbow if you notice excessive smoke from the exhaust, the engine running hotter than normal, visible cracks or corrosion on the elbow parts, or reduced engine power. Yanmar treats this as a routine maintenance item and recommends a replacement every 4 years or 1,000 hours. The mixing valve sits on the exhaust side of the engine and mixes the cooling water with the exhaust and spits it out through the exhaust pipe. Over time, carbon can build up and salt water can corrode the metal parts. We had pretty smoky exhaust and I wasn't sure when the last time it was replaced, so I ordered up a new stainless steel one. I found the right part for our Yanmar 2GM20 from HDImarine.net. The stainless was about twice as much as the steel one, but it should give us many more years of service. I ordered the whole assembly, including the exhaust bend and connector, so that I could remove the 4 bolts going into the engine block rather than struggle with disassembling the connector. There were 2 main things I was concerned about when removing the elbow. One was breaking off 1 or more of the 4 bolts, and the other one was struggling to get the hoses off. The space is small but accessible. So I first sprayed the 4 bolts with PB Blaster and let it sit while I worked on the exhaust hose and water hose. The exhaust hose can really grip onto the old elbow. It helps to use picks or small screwdrivers or whatever you have around to try to break the bond between the hose and the elbow to break it free. With a lot of wiggling of the hose, it finally started to work loose. The water hose wasn't quite as difficult as the exhaust hose though. The socket I used was about 12mm, and to my delight, the 4 bolts came right out. Then it was on to cleaning up the block to get a smooth surface to attach a new exhaust bend, so I worked at scraping away the old gasket until it was nice and flat. I put the 3 pieces together along with some high heat gasket caulking. After lining up the old elbow with the new one, it was on to putting everything back, basically in reverse of the disassembly. A new gasket, which is included in the kit, I would consider to be essential. After I had everything back together, I ran the engine to check to make sure there weren't any exhaust or water leaks around the parts that I replaced. Once home, I checked to see how clogged the old elbow was, and I was pretty glad I replaced it. So now it's on to sailing. Or is that motoring?